Thank you for checking out our master marketing plan. Century 21 has 3,000 offices in 90 different countries. We have 5 locations around the Pittsburgh area to better serve you. I've been doing business for over 10 years. Full time is all I do. I've sold hundreds of homes. At this time, probably over 450 homes right now. We have 25 homes for sale. These are all listings. There's another row of them up here. I have over 25 active listings right now. Eight deals under contract right now in the pipeline, and we just came through a season where we had 15 deals under contract for the last few months. So in any event, we work very hard for our clients to keep you in the loop of what's going on. What I would do is normally when I come meet with you, I share with you my master marketing plan, and then we have an actual point of action that we go over. I have a few points on here I want to point out. You'll see down below all the buttons down there. These are all points that we go over in person with you, and but we submit it to the multi-list. There's over 5,000 agents in our marketplace, so you really want to open it up to everybody possible. And a tool within a multi-list, number 2, is called reverse prospecting on the list here. And what that does is, if you wanted me to help you buy a house, I'd go in the multi-list, put a search in that matches the criteria of a house that you're looking for. Those searches are saved in the system. So when I list your house, I can then go in and flip the list over and find all the agents that have home searches set up that your matches the criteria of your home. So then I actually reach out to them and market to them directly. I market for two people. I'm looking for a buyer, but I also market to real estate agents. I sell about 40% of my own homes. So 4 out of every 10 I list, I sell. I actually bring the buyer to the table. But there's a 60% chance that it will be an outside firm that actually brings the buyer to the table. So we want to utilize all the data to our advantage. So it's important that you know that. And so a couple other points on here is the details of the property. You'd be surprised how often we relist a house that was for sale in the past, and information on there was outdated. And so we actually update all the information, make sure it's fully correct. Because if it's not correct, then why are they even putting it on there, right? The photos, we take professional grade quality home photos, and then we photo edit them to improve the likelihood of buyers actually, when they're viewing them on the internet, that they actually turn around and come out and take a look at it. Your home will be exposed on over 600 different websites. You'll be on every possible real estate website out there. Your home will be featured on there. You just never know where that buyer is going to find the home. And then we back that up with the golden ruler. The golden ruler actually tracks how many people are viewing your home on all these different websites. And then we report back to you twice a month. Same time I get the report, you get the report. It tells us how many people are viewing your home online, how many people are looking for a home like yours. We have a professional sign. Most people have a professional sign, but it's very important. Century 21 is a very recognizable sign. There's actually been studies done where homes, you had a couple homes for sale on the same road, and there's a couple signs, and then you say, hey, a couple homes for sale on that street, who are you going to call? They'd say, oh, we're going to call Century 21, even though there was different companies' signs on that street. And they actually went back and did the same test where there's not even a Century 21 sign on the road, and people, oh, who would you call? We're going to call Century 21 just because we've been around for so long. So another thing within that is we have a sign writer that'll go on there. If you can see it right here, there's a unique extension that'll your house will have its own code. So this is, you can call it, you can text it. And the reason I share this with you is because in the past we would put out flyers. We put a little flyer box, somebody come by and take a color flyer and get information on the house, which we're real proud of it. We did a real nice job. We put 50, 100 of these things in there, and nobody ever called us, right? What's the purpose of doing something? You want to get people to turn around and make phone calls so that we can show them the house. So what we do this sign writer with the extension. It's callable, it's textable. We do all that because somebody calls that phone number, and we turn around and it sends them an email or a text message of just you'll have your own website just for your house. So it automatically texts them that link directly to their phone. So now they're looking at it on their phone immediately, sitting in front of your house. They've only called that number. They had to be in front of your house to get that information. And we do all that because we could give away 100 flyers and we'd never get anybody's information. But if they call that phone number, I get a text message on my phone within seconds. And now I'm turning around and calling them and saying, hey, I see you're in front of the house. What information can I get you? So we're giving them instant information, instant photos, and then I'm also reaching out to them immediately too. So it's things that just ordinarily would not have happened. We wouldn't be able to get them the quality photos and capture their data so that we can turn around put a sale together for you, which is the more people that look at your house and the more people interested in your house, the more money you're gonna get. Let's see. We all our showings are go through a showing center. So if somebody wants to show your house tomorrow at noon, whether it be me or another agent, they're going to call a service that we provide. They're open 24 hours a day, and so they're going to call them. They're going to text message you immediately. Hey, somebody wants to show your house tomorrow at noon. You're going to get a text message, so you have some real data that you can look at, and you can respond back yes or no. And if you don't answer that text within about 45 minutes, they're going to call you and then say, hey, somebody wants to show your house tomorrow at noon. And you're going to respond to them that way. The reason we do that is about a year or so ago, I had listed a house on a Saturday evening. Sunday morning, I was in church, and we had 3 agents trying to get in that house to show it that morning between 10 and 11 while I was at church, and I don't take my phone into church with me. So we missed 2 of 3 of those showings. That, who knows, one of them could have been the buyer, and they were from out of town, so we ended up not viewing the house. So to ensure that never happens again, I have provided a service that's 24 hours a day. They will field phone calls and ensure that all showings happen when they're supposed to. And then they also do another step too. So after every showing, they send out email surveys to every agent that shows the house. So now they send out a survey, and upon that agent filling out the survey, you get that emailed back to you immediately, which I think is critical. Feedback's critical for our business. What they're asking them, did they like the house? Did they like the price? Did they like the interior? Did they like the exterior? Why did they like the neighborhood? Are they still in the market? Did they find another house? All information that you want to know right away. So, now you're getting real live time feedback versus, in the past we'd call the agent up and say, hey, what'd they think? And they go, yeah, it just wasn't for them. And they go, well, that just doesn't really help me. We need real information. So now you're getting it and getting it real time. I had already mentioned to you that you have your own website specifically. It'll be the address. It's century21.com. So, and that's shared out there. We do Craigslist ads. It's free, but you just never know where a buyer's going to come from. So they might be searching around for something and come across your house. All the photos are turned into a video YouTube tour. That's very important. When we do receive an offer, we work with you closely on how to develop a strategy to respond and negotiate that deal, whether it be counting the offer, whether it's accepting the offer. Even sometimes buyers can't help themselves. They start out low, and there's just nothing we can do about that because they got to start somewhere. So a lot of times we come back with a stern full price counter, and then they get in line and we negotiate and put a good deal together. So two last things is we communicate with you on a weekly basis with a phone call or an email, just to ensure that that we're here working for you. We can have a 20-second conversation or 20-minute conversation. It's just important that we have an open line of dialogue. And then we're going to work clear to the close so we can hand you your check at closing. You guys can move on to your new home. So it's very critical that you have somebody follow through clear to the end for you. So we go through all this with you in person, and we give it to you, so have you review it, make sure there's no questions you have in regards to that. So that's our master marketing plan. It's a lot, but there's even some more data points that are to it here. If you'll review some of the buttons down below, you'll get more information about it. But thanks for checking out the master marketing plan.